Caitlin Clark's teammate NaLyssa Smith shows her true colors as she throws her teammate under the bus for a laugh. Now, Caitlin Clark must be getting tired of all the hate. Ever since she came into the league, she has dealt with a ton of negativity. Whether it be from former players throwing shade at her and downplaying her accomplishments, or rivals going out of their way to hit and injure her. Despite this, she has excelled and carved out a legendary rookie career. But now she is getting hate from her own teammates. This must be incredibly frustrating as Caitlin has done everything in her power to uplift her teammates and bring her team to a whole other level. So by the end of this video, you will see how Caitlin Clark is being bullied by her teammate NaLyssa Smith. Caitlin has had several run-ins with opposing players which have resulted in her being hurt. Some have been so blatant that many fans believe they had to be targeted. This includes what happened between her and DeJounte Carrington. The Fever and the Sun was a highly anticipated matchup. Everyone wanted to see how the rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark, would perform under the bright lights. However, controversy marred the game from the very beginning. During the Indiana Fever's Game 1 in the best-of-3 first-round series against the Connecticut Sun, Caitlin Clark was left with a black eye thanks to DeJounte Carrington. She poked the unanimous Rookie of the Year winner right in the eye. Moreover, the foul went uncalled, despite Clark falling to the ground in obvious pain.
Could have been a personal foul.
You see the poke in the eye, and one of the areas.
Ouch. That looked incredibly painful. And if you're an MMA fan, then you'll know that there has been plenty of fights called off after a fighter gets poked in the eye. The pain is apparently unbearable. Now, after Caitlin was hit in the eye, she briefly joined the bench when the Indiana Fever called a timeout. Despite the pain, she chose to continue playing. Though she dished out 8 assists in her 36 minutes on the court, it wasn't good enough as the Suns beat the Fever pretty badly. Fans were furious as they labeled Carrington's move an intentional one. Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy also joined thousands on social media in bashing the WNBA. He wrote on X, "Why does the WNBA let players wear gigantic nails if they use them as weapons? We're lucky CC didn't lose an eye here." Reminder, no foul called, and Caitlin played with one eye the rest of the game and had her worst shooting performance in months after this. Now, he does have a point. Having long nails seems to be incredibly dangerous when you're constantly swiping at your opponents or trying to block their shots. Now, going back to the game, it seems that the eye poke was a big reason why Caitlin had one of her worst shooting nights since she joined the WNBA. She only shot 23.5% or 4 of 17 from the field, including 2 of 11 from 3. Furthermore, the Fever got thumped by Connecticut 93-69, and now they stare at an early elimination. Kelsey Mitchell's 21 points and Aaliyah Boston's 11 rebounds were the only silver linings on a disappointing night. However, in the post-game press conference, she did not blame DeJounte Carrington's dirty move for her failure.
Obviously got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me. Honestly, I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down, and obviously a tough time for that to happen. I got some really good looks. I felt I had three pretty wide open threes in the first half that you usually make. So that's tough. We were right there, and I felt like we just played a crappy game. The flow of the game was really bad.
So although Caitlin might not blame Carrington, fans were quick to point out that she has dealt with several WNBA players hitting her with dirty moves. Many fans believe that Carrington poked Caitlin on purpose because she clearly bends her fingers and swipes down on Caitlin's face. That is not how you block a shot. That is why some are even calling for Carrington to be suspended. However, don't hold your breath for that one. All season long, Caitlin has had to deal with bullies and cheap shots. Things got even worse when Carrington was questioned whether or not she intended to hit Caitlin in her eye.
Yeah. Did you, when you went and kind of swatted at Caitlin, did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not, either way, could you talk about what happened on that play?
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me, but no, I didn't.
However, once Caitlin and her Fever team were eliminated from the playoffs, it seemed as if the attention was diverted to other matters, such as the WNBA ratings plummeting without Caitlin. It looked as if the eye poke situation was then laid to bed. That was until Carrington brought it once more. Now, for those who might not know, Carrington is in a relationship with Clark's teammate, NaLyssa Smith. Recently, an interaction between the two of them went viral. The couple was on Smith's Instagram Live, where she and Carrington were cooking together. Smith accidentally poked Carrington's eye while turning around in the kitchen.
Ow!
Oh, I'm sorry.
You poked me in the eye. You did?
I did not poke
Did you do it on purpose?
I did not poke you.
Did you do it on purpose?
Now, this is a shame to see, as Caitlin has done everything in her power to help her squad. Her playmaking has elevated her Fever teammates as well. Aaliyah Boston is having the best season of her career and was named to the All-Star team. She also received the second most fan votes of any player. Caitlin and Aaliyah Boston became the first duo in Fever history to record 20-point double-doubles in the same game. Both of them were cooking the Mercury. However, that wasn't Caitlin's only accomplishment. She also had 7 first-quarter assists, which broke a franchise record. She now has the Fever record for both assists in a single quarter and assists in a single game. On top of that, Caitlin's other teammate, Kelsey Mitchell, also made the All-Star team. Having Caitlin on the team makes it so much easier for her teammates to play their roles. Besides, all they really have to do is hustle and make the right cuts, because Caitlin will find them thanks to her pinpoint passes and even a few unbelievable bounce passes that leave the defense confused. She basically did everything you could have wanted and then some. Now, maybe Smith's animosity comes from the fact that Caitlin garners so much usage and attention. Smith's minutes went down this season, and along with that, her overall production took a hit. She went from averaging a career-best 15.5 points per game to 10.6. Even her rebounds and blocks were down. So perhaps she felt underutilized in Caitlin's system. Now, there is some validity to this, as after the season was over for the Fever, Carrington hinted at wanting to free Smith from her Fever team. Following the Suns' 87-81 Game 2 win that sealed the series win, Carrington shared a touching moment with Smith after the tense game. Though the series was competitive, the couple's bond was evident. Later, Carrington expressed on X her admiration for Smith and hinted that she'd like her to leave Indiana. Even if Smith feels like she could do more, it's a shame that she had to throw Caitlin under the bus, as Caitlin has done so much for her team. The Indiana Fever have seen dramatic increases in ticket sales and prices since Caitlin entered the league. The average price of a ticket to a Fever game is now $144, which is up 133% from last year. The average purchase price for Indiana Fever road games in 2024 is $108, which is 151% more than the $43 price from 2023. The purchase price for most teams entering the 2024 season is generally higher when they play the Fever than their average games. TickPick has sold 222% more tickets for WNBA games this year versus this time last year. In 2024, attendance increased by nearly 50% from 2023. The average attendance was up by double digits for all 12 franchises. Indiana led with an average home attendance of 17,035 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, a year-over-year increase of 319%. Indiana's regular season finale in Washington set a league attendance record with 20,711 spectators. And Caitlin can be thanked for that. Both Carrington and Smith are more well-known because of Caitlin. Now, it is one thing for her opponents to take shots at her, but a whole other when her own teammates don't even have her back. Caitlin should have seen this coming, as there have been several instances on the court where she was hit by a dirty shot and her teammates did nothing about it. Well, now we know why. They are also jealous and envious of what she has done in the short time that she has been in the league.